Anyway, I think who do we have next? We have Dr. Robert on the line, I believe. Let me see. All right. And Dr. Robert has some UFO claims or UAP. Dr. Robert, you're on with BrainBug and Genevieve. How you doing tonight?
Wonderful, wonderful. Good evening. Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm doing great. I'm calling you from Los Angeles.
Well, we're glad to have your call tonight. Thank you so much for calling in and sharing your experience with us. So it says in your call here that you're calling about UAPs and UFO drones. Is that right?
Yeah, that's correct. Briefly, you're going to find all this super amazing and super impossible. But for the last 4 years exactly, there have been numerous small drones, UAP, UFO drones, flying in Marina del Rey. There are 5 government agencies chasing it. They cannot catch it. It is uncatchable. And I have documented everything. I have over 1,000 videos to prove it.
1,000 videos. Okay. Goodness. Did we have any of the videos, Ethan? I don't know if we got any of those. If not, you can just if you want to send those, send them on over to Ethan, and we'll get them up on the screen here for you if you got a really compelling one to share with us. But what are we seeing on these videos, since we don't have one right now to look at?
Okay. Shoot, I have my if you can give me a link or something, I have my video guy here. But what you're looking at, these are small UAP drones. They're about 10 inches. I know that because it flew up to a telephone pole, so I was able to capture that image. And these drones are really all over the world, but for some reason, there are a lot of them in Marina del Rey, Los Angeles. And again, over 5 agencies are still chasing this drone. Those agencies, for instance, are the Army, the Navy, the Coast Guard, the Sheriff, and the police. And they're here. They've been here thousands of times in the last 4 years, and I've recorded a lot of it. These drones fly up to the helicopters, and they fly away the speed of a bullet. And I have put it on my YouTube channel. Can I give you the name of the YouTube channel?
Yeah. What's the name of your YouTube channel? Sure.
Okay. Yes. Custodian File, File. And that's what I record everything from my balcony. And basically, I wait for one of these agencies to fly in to look for this drone. Mm-hmm. And I record the helicopter, and 80% of the time the drone will fly by the helicopter, and I call that a tag. When it flies by, I say the helicopter got tagged. They're invisible to the human eye. There's no sound barrier, and they're traveling at an impossible speed of 1,700 miles an hour.
Who's measuring the speed on that? Where'd that measurement come from for the speed on that? Is that from the military?
Great question. I've calculated it. I'm a retired pharmacist, so I have a heavy science background. But after thousands of videos, it comes down to reference points. It was here. Basically, I have really one great video where it was at the beginning of Marina del Rey, and it traveled 6,000 feet in 2 seconds. And then I've confirmed that video from somebody else's channel who just got a lucky video also. So now I have 2 videos to confirm its speed. And I know that's an impossible speed, and I wouldn't call to tell an impossible story. Anyone can come to Marina del Rey and record this. Or if you know one of these helicopter pilots, and the odds are somebody knows a pilot, you can talk to the pilot and get the story that way. But this is current. It hasn't gone away. It's still going on every day.
So I got some of your videos pulled up here and kind of looking at them. Is it the thing that streaks across the screen? Is that what we're looking at?
Yes, that is the drone, the UAP drone. What was it?
So-
Last Saturday we had that tsunami, and for some reason, these drones went into hyperactivity. I've never seen them so hyper, and they were all over the sky. The police flew in, and they were all over the police helicopter. It was a ridiculous video day, and I posted some of that video, and you'll see 2 or 3 drones flying, actually with 2 birds and the helicopter. So these drones are not birds or bugs.
Okay, and I'm just giving my opinion. They definitely look like bugs to me, crawling across there, but are flying closer to the camera, within maybe a couple of feet of the camera is what it looks like to me. On this one I got pulled up here, the November 15th, 2021 one with the helicopter. That's what we're looking at right now on the screen. And to me, what it looked like was a flying insect somewhere within 5 to 10 feet of the camera, zooming across there. What reason are we believing that that's not what we're looking at?
Well, these objects only fly when there are helicopters in the air, and that's why the police are there. The police are looking for this drone. That is exactly why they're there. They're not on a patrol. I live right next to the beach, and the police, they're not looking for a bank robber at the beach. They show up every day and they circle the same location in Marina del Rey, because for some reason, at the beginning of the channel where the marina is, these drones like to fly a lot. And the police helicopter, they have these flare cameras. They can see heat objects. And that's what they're seeing. They're seeing images. They look like tracer bullets at night. That's how fast they fly by their camera. So they don't see what you're seeing on YouTube right now. They see these white streaks like tracer bullets.
Well, I know that people. Sorry, I know that people are definitely flying drones around there. There's a few channels that I follow where the people just, that's all they do is fly drones over the coast out there and show videos of the sharks and the dolphins and things like that. They share them on YouTube. So there are definitely people flying drones around out in that area. But whether this video shows a drone, it doesn't look like any drone that I would not doesn't look like anything I would call a drone on first. It looks like an insect to me. I mean, just doubling down on that a little bit here, because I really don't see any reason to believe what we're seeing in these videos, at least, is anything but an insect.
Yeah, I can appreciate that, because at first I thought they were insects, and I called them dragonflies, because I said, this has just got to be a bug. This just has to be. But I went out and I got a better camera. And again, these things only fly by when helicopters fly by. So we've had the Army, we've had Ospreys, Black Hawks, Apaches, the Sheriff, the Coast Guard fly in circles constantly for the last 4 years, chasing this drone, and they're not catching it.
And the police reports are talking about that they're chasing a drone. Like if you look in the police reports, that's what it says.
Well, they're here looking for the drone, but they're not telling the public anything.
Oh, they're not releasing any information. Sorry, Genevieve, you had something.
No, I guess because if I understand correctly, there's like a military base really close by. Like the Navy has ships off the coast. Because when I look into this, from what I've seen, because obviously everybody is really excited about UFOs because the Pentagon released that footage, and they're sort of taking what we would say UFO seriously. But I would say that when we say UFO, the entire idea is that it's an unidentified flying object. I think the leading theory for any ships or helicopters in that area being swarmed by things is that potentially it's a trick of our eyes, or it could be a foreign government that is also spying, because that happens all the time. I think that I have no problem granting you the fact that there may be some weird things going on with drones following helicopters or what have you. My big hang up would be, are you saying that this is from out of this world, or this is not human technology, or that this is not something that could be explained in one of those two ways? I'm also
Yeah,
I'm obsessed
fantastic
with your bug.
question. Well, by the way, these drones, it's highly likely these are the same drones that were on the news 6 months ago when they were swarming the Navy ships. The Navy said these things are all around us, they're swarming, it got leaked out. Now, I do agree this could be a foreign government. In all fairness, we don't know. All I am 100% certain that these things are here. Now, where they're from, your guess is as good as mine. Other than, I don't believe we have the technology that can create 1,700 miles an hour with no sonic boom.
So,
I'm
well,
just
the other
saying
thing,
100% certain.
so just
Yeah.
really quick, while you bring up 1,700 miles per hour, I'm not great at math, but I did the math, and I'm pretty sure that is like, oh gosh, I want to say like half a mile per second. I don't think that you could even genuinely see something going quite that fast. By the time you blink your eye, it's a mile down the coast.
100% correct. They are invisible to the human eye. Invisible. You are correct on your calculation.
But
It is.
that's not invisible. If it were invisible, then we wouldn't be talking about this, because it wouldn't have been detected by any of your cameras or any of the footage that you take from your balcony.
The frame rate wouldn't be fast enough to catch
Yeah.
it. Is
Yeah, I'm shooting at 60. I'm shooting at 60 frames, 4K. They are invisible to the human eye, not to the camera.
So
yes,
the camera has a what was the frame rate on that camera?
60.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, you said that the object was moving at, I believe, 1,700. Was that like that?
Yeah, 1,700 miles per hour.
Yeah.
And the camera.
That's 2,500 feet. Yeah, 2,500 feet a second.
And you're doing 60 frames per second on your camera.
Yes, I am.
So I'm just trying to just sort the math there to see if that would you expect it to show up? So something's moving 1,700 miles an hour and you're recording at 60 frames a second. I don't know if we'd be able to see that. I mean, I don't know. I'm not I'm not an optometrist. I don't know what the eye or the camera should be able to see at that frame rate. But I from what I had something moving that speed, from what I understand, it should be, you wouldn't even have time to process it. The camera wouldn't have time to process it.
And another thing really quickly is that you said that you believe that we don't have the human technology to make something that goes that fast. Am I understanding that correctly?
Yeah, that is my belief. I do. And I've talked to a lot of.
I
guess without a sonic boom.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just looking it up, and the Lockheed SR-71 Blackbird is the fastest jet aircraft in the world, and that goes 2,100 miles per hour. So it can be done. We make really fast things. I would not be surprised whatsoever if this is not a bug on your screen, which it actually, it totally does look like that. I don't think you're just saying that, BrainBug, because your brain's on bugs, but I think that if you really, really dig into it, there's a lot of logical explanations, and I think this is fascinating. I think that if you enjoy filming off of your balcony, keep on keeping on. I would just, instead of jumping to the conclusion that this is something that has no explanation or that, you know, we can't account for it. I mean, you can just look into it. Like a quick Google search on like how fast do we make things can sort of already sort of tamp down some of that disbelief, if you will. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I appreciate that. I put about 8,000 hours of research in this, and I have thousands of videos of this with every agency that you can think of. Probably the easiest way, somebody knows one of these helicopter pilots. If you could call the pilot, you'll get it. You'll hear the answer directly.
I want to say before we close out, because we do have some other calls waiting, I do want to say that you are going about this the right way. If you're interested in learning about this stuff, you are doing exactly the right thing by researching, looking into it, documenting different agencies that you see flying around. Excellent, excellent work. Keep us up to date on that. Let us know what you find, okay? Because we're really interested, and I will go through and look at more of your videos. I may actually feature some of your videos on my own show if I find one that tickles my fancy. So I'll let Ethan know if I decide to, so he can keep you posted, okay?
Thank you very much. Feel free to use the video. Feel free. It's open
Thank you
source.
so much. Thank you so much for calling.
Thank you very much. Have a good evening.
Yeah, you too. Thank you. All right. Lost my headphone there for a second. Yeah. There was definitely, he's seeing something, he's experiencing something, he's trying to sort it out. He's is drawing some conclusions that I don't necessarily think I would have drawn.
Yeah.
But at least he's continuing to do some research and try to figure out what's going on with it.
Yeah, and I guess I just hope you know, I don't want to burst his bubble, because it sounds like he's put a lot of time, and it sounds like he's really, really invested in this. And I think that's why I think it's so important to keep an open mind and to be skeptical and to sort of check yourself. Because if you commit so deeply to a belief, you know, not even necessarily talking about this caller, but even, you know, the first guy, Vortex guy, it's so heartbreaking to go your life being so sure about something only to realize that maybe it's not the case at all.
Oh yeah. And I mean, you can correlate that with just about any realization that you have, but people experience that a lot coming out of religion or getting away from a cult, not just and it can be as simple as you know, a belief in the tooth fairy too, you know, something simple as like you had a haunted house or whatever as a kid, to come to the conclusion that at some point that, hey, maybe that wasn't real, maybe that was my brain priming it to accept that these experiences are supernatural when they're really something mundane.